Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Ford. We are local. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting comedian and star of the hit TV show Mike and Molly, Billy Gardell, June 22nd. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. And welcome back to Safeco Field and the Ford Sports Desk. In addition to the action you'll be seeing between the Mariners and A's over the next few hours, here's what we have planned for you coming up. We'll certainly check in on what's going on down on the farm. Also, breaking news from around Major League Baseball, should any develop. And, of course, up next for the Mariners, it's a trip to New York to take on the Yankees. The Yanks in KC, we'll see what's going on there as well. First things first, though, right now, let's reconnect with Angie.
All right, thanks so much. And I know Tom Glasgow made his wife Heidi a nice brekkie this morning, and I got a fantastic painted flower pot here on Mother's Day. Lots of hugs and kisses. Early hugs and kisses, but lots of hugs and kisses. You don't mind, though. As a mom, you're willing to sacrifice or do anything for your kids and the Mariners. All grown up now. Still remember that.
My earliest memory of playing baseball would be when I was 5 years old. My mom fudged my age to play with the 6-year-olds because she was ready to get me out of the house for a few times a week. I guess she says I was quite a handful. I'm not buying it.
My baseball hero, it's a tough one. You know, there was a lot of people that helped me in my career. I've had a couple coaches that's helped me. I had a lot of ex-players now that have always been there and always helped me along. You know, that's a tough one. I'll always go back to my answer about my mom. It's got to be my mom, because without her, I would have never played.
I like Michael Morse even more now, and I'm so thrilled to see so many moms out here at the ballpark today. Hopefully they'll see the Mariners take another series, and the game doesn't have to be passed on from dad to mom. It could be mom to daughter, father to daughter, but it could be mother to daughter, or who knows? Big Low saying Happy Mother's Day, Dad. Dad's out there, mom and dad. Well, we're glad we're with us, and we've got first pitch and lineups coming up next here. The finale between the Mariners and the Athletics here on Mother's Day.
Well, this afternoon here at Safeco Field on this very special Mother's Day, for 2013. Mariner players will be using pink bats and shoes, and the wristbands are going to be auctioned off to help breast cancer awareness. A lot of moms down on the field with their families, and what a better day to bring mom out to the ballpark here at Safeco Field for today's final game of the 3-game series between the Mariners and the Oakland A's. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers, and we are getting ready for baseball. Mike and the Mariners, this is the rubber match of the 3-game series. Beautiful Sunday afternoon out here in the Pacific Northwest. Once again, a nice crowd and a lot of folks having a great vantage point from right there on in left center field in the pen. Joe Saunders is ready to go, and he's been tremendous here at home. 2-0 in those 3 starts. The windup and the first pitch to Adam Rosales is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Rosales up in the leadoff spot for manager Bob Melvin this afternoon. Came on late in last night's ball game. A's end up winning by a score of 4-3. The Mariners had chances late in that game last night. Next offer is outside for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. But you know, when you take a look at the numbers, Mike, I guess it goes under the category of that's baseball, how good he has been here at home and as much as he has struggled on the road. But for his career, he's been better on the road.
He has, which is something that I think that you need to be optimistic about as you look forward. This is his last outing against the Blue Jays. Things did not go well for him. 5 innings, gave up 7 runs in that inning, or that outing. Only 83 pitches for Joe.
Ground ball right side, and Robert Andino is there to scoop it up and make the play, and 1 away for the A's here in the top of the first.
But I think that's the reason why you have to think he's going to get it figured out on the road, because he has been so good at home. Let's take a look at the rest of the batting order for the Athletics. Lowry will follow Rosales in at Cespedes. Want to keep your eye on him. He has been struggling lately, but he has the power. He will hit third. Donaldson, the hot hitter, hitting cleanup today. Then it's Mons, Norris, Freeman, Moss, and Taylor getting his first start in the series. He will hit ninth. Overall numbers for Joe Saunders, a 2-4 record, ERA at 6.15. 41 innings pitched for him, 15 walks, 14 strikeouts for Saunders.
And Jed Lowry, the hitter, and he takes a strike. 0-1. Lowry's had an outstanding series, Mike. 3 for 4 last night, and switch hitting shortstop did a great job hitting the ball the other way.
Well, he's been a good pickup overall for the A's. Coming over from Houston, hitting .312 coming into the game, 3 home runs for Lowry. So, he's been a nice player, a nice addition to their lineup, especially when you consider all the injuries they've had, Rick. He's picked up the slack for him.
A lot of guys on the DL right now for the Athletics. Key players, Coco Crisp, Josh Reddick, Brett Anderson, Chris Young. Next offer is down and away. Check swing. He did not go. Ball 2, 2-1 on Lowry. Billy Beane trading for Lowry, coming over from the Astros back on February the 4th. Fouled straight back by Lowry. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, Mike, happy Mother's Day to your mom. I know she means so much to you and your entire family.
Everybody back home, everybody down south, all the moms.
Joe Saunders, start number 8 on the year. 31-year-old veteran southpaw. Fly ball, shallow right toward the line. Michael Morris is there and makes the catch. Backpedals a few steps. And there's 2 outs for the A's here in the first.
Take a look at our T-Mobile defense for the Mariners this afternoon. Jason Bay getting the start in left field. Saunders is in center. Michael Morris, your right fielder this afternoon. Seager is at third base. Ryan and Andino getting the start. Ackley the afternoon off, so Andino will be at second base. Smoke is at first. And Jesus Montero will do the catching this afternoon.
And look at this. Besides the pink wristbands and the bats, how about the pink shoes being worn by Jesus Montero this afternoon here on Mother's Day? Like we said, a lot of the equipment being auctioned off to help raise money for the Susan G. Komen Cancer Research Center. Here's the pitch to Cespedes, and it's in there for a strike. 0-1. Cespedes, big strong guy, 0 for 8 in the series, 0 for 4 last night, hitting just .204 for the year. And it's 0-2 the count on Cespedes, but he has 6 home runs, 18 runs batted in, and Mike, he's still as dangerous as anybody standing up there at home plate.
He can get hot at any time. Just missing a home run in last night's game. The ball was just foul from a line drive.
Back to the mound. Saunders knocks it down. Joe picks it up, and he gets Cespedes at first, and it's a 1-2-3. Top of the first for the Oakland A's, and we are underway here on Mother's Day. We go to the bottom of the first. Our score, the A's nothing, and the Mariners coming up. Well, we go to the bottom of the first inning. No score. The A's retired easily by Joe Saunders. Michael Saunders will lead things off. And for the lineups, here's Blow.
Today's starting lineup brought to you by Chevron. Leading off, it will be Michael Saunders. Then it's Jason Bay. A few changes in the lineup. Bay will move up and hit second. Seager drops down to hit third. Then it's Morales, the cleanup hitter. Michael Morris, for the first time this year, will hit fifth in the lineup. Smoke, Montero, Andino, and Ryan rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. Take a look at Tommy Milone in his year. 3-4 record, but a 3.13 ERA, so fine ERA for him. 46 innings pitched, 41 strikeouts to only 6 walks, Rick.
Got that real good changeup, doesn't he?
Great changeup, good two-seam fastball. Will occasionally cut it in on the right-handers. Interesting note, lefties hitting 50 points higher than right-handers off of Milone.
And a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. That is unusual.
Well, I think it takes his changeup away. It's a little bit more difficult. He likes to throw the changeup down and away to the righties, and if that pitch down and into lefties can be dangerous for him.
Lined into left field the other way. So Michael Saunders with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the first inning. And Mike, you and I were talking before the ball game about Milone. That's got to be a pretty good approach against a guy that has a good changeup.
Well, he wants to get everybody out away, and Michael's just taking what he'll give you, and that's the fastball away. Serves it into left field. Take a look at the rest of the T-Mobile defense for the A's. Taylor getting his first start in left field. Cespedes in center. Made a fine catch out of center field yesterday. Moss in right. And on the infield, Donaldson will be at third. Rosales getting his first start at shortstop. Lowry and Freeman on the right side of the infield. And Derek Norris will do the catching this afternoon.
And here's left fielder Jason Bay using that pink bat. Sends a high fly ball into left center field. Shallow coming in. Cespedes, he's there. And makes the catch. One out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the first as Michael Saunders makes his way back to first base. A couple of outings ago for Joe Saunders. It was the Saunders and Saunders show going back to a Monday night game on April the 29th. That's when the Mariners beat Baltimore here in Seattle 6-2. Joe Saunders went all the way in that game. The Mariners' first complete game of the season, his 8th career complete game. And Michael Saunders got things going offensively for Joe Saunders with a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first.
Well, that's the hope. And Michael Saunders off to a good start with a base hit his first time up over at first base. I like Joe Saunders' comments after the game when he finished the complete game. He talked about how difficult it is in today's era of baseball because of the pitch counts and how efficient you have to be. And he certainly was against the Orioles, a good hitting club. But you have to get it done in probably 110 pitches these days if you want to get a complete game, and that's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, you don't see guys getting a chance to throw 120 pitches. Maybe if Felix Hernandez somewhere along the way. Here's Kyle Seager. He takes a look at ball one. And that pitch is down and away for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. And talking with Eric Wedge about that complete game, he said it was the way that Saunders was getting outs late in the game that allowed him to go out there for the 9th inning.
Well, they'll keep an eye on him. I mean, obviously his pitch count was in good shape, but if they look to see if he starts to elevate the baseball, then it's time for him to go. Typically that means his legs are done. And these guys, their arm strength is usually fine, but when their legs go, the ball starts to elevate in the zone. That's typically when the managers get concerned. Kyle Seager, we showed you, is having a good series. 2 for 5 in the series, but he's also walked 4 times, Rick. He's really had a good series, staying on base quite a bit in the first 2 games.
He was on 4 times a couple of nights ago and scored 3 times in the 6-3 win in the opening game of the set. Malone from the set and misses down and away for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Seager, who walks down for the 5th time in this 3-game series. So he's on at first. Saunders down at second. And the Mariners have an opportunity to get to Tommy Milone here in the bottom of the first.
And I think this is the reason why, one of the reasons why Eric Wedge made the changes to the lineup. He moves Bay up, but Seager goes to third, and it's to give these guys some opportunities to get on base in front of Morales, Morris, and Smoke, the guys that would normally be in the middle. So here you go in the first inning. Now it's up to them to come up with a big base hit, Rick.
Kendrys Morales batting .262 on the year, with 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in, looking for that base hit early that would give the Mariners a quick run. Great speed aboard, and Saunders at second. Seager, good lead at first. Low and inside for ball 1. Malone is going to throw strikes, Mike. Only 6 walks on the year and
Kyle
7
Seager,
starts.
the 7th walk of the year for him.
Doesn't happen.
No. But he knows that he can't afford to have a lot of base runners, and the more opportunities you get against him, because you're going to put the ball in play. He's not an overpowering pitcher. that he has to stay away from the walks, and he's done an excellent job of that this year.
And that misses for ball 2. So Tommy Milone, who's a strike throwing machine, has missed with 6 consecutive pitches. Walked Seager on 4. Now he's 2-0 on Morales, and time is called as Norris, who did a great job last night with Jared Parker in the bullpen, goes out to have a talk.
He did, but so many times you see starting pitchers, and you can even Felix is one of those guys. They come out typically in the first or second inning. They're trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
Even the great ones struggle a little bit early. What you want to do is take advantage of that if you can. So this is a big opportunity for the Mariners before Milone can actually settle into this game.
Part of that, the internal amp meter.
Oh, I think so.
Well hit left field. Taylor going back to the one. He tracked to the wall. Goodbye baseball. Kendrys Morales with his 4th home run of the season. A 3-run drive into the Oakland A's bullpen. And just like that, the Mariners have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Number 4 for Morales.
Well, you have to love it when a plan comes together, Rick. And Eric Wedge making some changes in the lineup. Morales had typically been hitting third. He drops him to hitting cleanup to get a couple of runners on, and that's what works out right here in the 1st inning. That pitch, middle of the plate, belt high, as Morales hits a line drive into the bullpen. So great start for the Mariners offense.
3 runs in already, only 1 out. And here is right fielder Michael Morse. Number 4 for Kendrys. Morse 9 home runs on the year. That ties him for 3rd in the American League. 15 runs batted in, batting .220. He'll get that average up there.
And he's 1 for 3 off of Milone. That 1 base hit is a home run.
Swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and in. And the count evens on Morse at 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael got off to that hot start, then hit on the hand, that broken little finger on that right hand, but he sat out only 3 games, battled through it. Ground ball foul along the third base side, picked up by Coach Darren Brown, and the count is now 1-2 on Morse.
And we've talked about Milone trying to get hitters out away, which is where he tried to go with Morales and didn't quite get it there, and also elevated that pitch. But all 3 pitches now to Morris inside to him, cut fastballs and a slider.
Breaking ball in and fouled away by Morse. Hit hard, foul though on the third base side, and the count is still 1-2 on Michael.
He's trying to stay in on his hands. Michael, 6'5", trying to crowd him and not let him get extended. All those pitches in the inner half of the plate.
Tommy Milone, 26 years of age. High chopper toward the hole at short, waiting for it to come down. Donaldson fires across in time to get Morse for the 2nd out of the inning. A 3 in on the home run by Morales, and that'll bring up first baseman Justin Smoak. Final game of the 3-game series. The Mariners now 3-3 against the A's here in the early part of the season. Nice crowd and a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in the Pacific Northwest. Glad you could tune in for all the play-by-play today. Just a brief stop at home for the Mariners. They finished up a 3-2 5-game road trip to Toronto and Pittsburgh, and now we're going to go on the road tomorrow to New York, Cleveland, and Anaheim. A strike on Smoak, and the count is 0-1. And Mike, this is a stretch of 17 games, 14 games on the road during this stretch.
The schedule has not been kind to the Mariners the first 2 months, Rick. When you think about April and playing 30 games in the first 31 days, and now the majority of this month being on the road, that's a tough go. You take a look at our Sleep Country calendar, but that's a difficult thing to deal with right out of the gate. So I think if they can just hang in there, which they're doing, we keep winning some series now. And at the end of this month, if they find themselves around that 500 record, I think they're I think they're right in the middle of it. The tough part of it is over there in June. They'll be home quite a bit.
3 games coming up against the Yankees, 4 in Cleveland, and then 3 in Anaheim. And the Indians just swept the A's in a 4-game series.
They're playing good baseball.
Yeah. Nick Swisher now over there. They have a new manager in Terry Francona. 2-2 on Smoak. in the dirt, full count.
And now 20 pitches for Malone here in the first inning. 10 strikes, 10 balls.
Justin walked twice last night, Mike, in last night's game, and also had a single and scored a big run in the 7th inning to make it a 1-run game. Payoff pitch. Hit high to the ground. Foul ball. Just fouled along the third base line. Alfonso Marquez, the umpire behind the bag at third, had a good look at it. Just fouled.
And Malone not giving in, comes back with a changeup, and Justin hits it down the line. You can see Alfonso Marquez with a really good look at it, and it looked like that was foul. Donaldson doing the right thing. Try to make the play if you can. The umpire do his job and make the call after the ball foul.
Still 3-2 on Smoke, batting .243, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Good effort right there by Donaldson. And it's outside for ball 4. So Tommy Malone, with only 6 walks on the season in 7 starts, now has walked 2 hitters here in the bottom of the first inning. 1 on 2 away, 3 in.
That'll bring up Jesus Montero, and Montero has worn out Malone. He has a .500 average against him, has hit a home run. And having a lot of pink today. Shoes, the wristbands, wrist guard, bat.
I love it.
He has it all going.
I love it. More money for the breast cancer awareness and research to help find a cure for breast cancer. Heck, wear pink uniforms. Why not? Strike called on Montero, 0-1. Anything to help the ladies. There he is, the numbers you were talking about, 7 for 14 against Malone with a home run. Backs him away, ball 1-1-1. And talking about home runs, Mike, a few days ago in Pittsburgh, that Wednesday afternoon ball game, big home run by Jesus to help Felix Hernandez win that ball game, 7-3, opposite field toward right center.
He's helped him a few times. He has 3 home runs on the year, and all 3 home runs coming in starts by Felix Hernandez.
And again, ball 2-2-1, and Blow, you can see Malone trying
This is what you want to do, though.
hitters.
Yeah, you want to do this, though. He's not sharp right now. You know he's going to settle in. He has 25 pitches, just 12 strikes out of the 25, but you have an opportunity to get after him early, do that, and the Mariners so far with 3 runs on the scoreboard and his pitch count climbing.
Keep it going. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Montero, hitting .198 to 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Malone from Saugus, California. And at first, Justin Smoke. The 2-2. Fouled out of play on the first base side. Tommy Malone originally signed and drafted by the Washington Nationals. Then he came over in a trade in December of 2011 in that deal for Gio Gonzalez, along with Brad Peacock and Derek Norris, who caught last night, and A.J. Cole. Won 13 games last year. He was 13-10 with a 3.74 ERA. Fouled away. Good cut by Montero, and the count is still 2-2.
Trying to make an adjustment right now, Malone, as Rick. Yeah, all the pitches were away early in the game, and Morales hits the home run, and since then he's been crowding the right-handed hitters. And this at bat for Montero, 6 pitches, 5 of them inside.
Making him work. Fouled away on the first base side, and the count is still 2-2.
That's pretty good. After all those pitches inside, he comes back with a good changeup down and away. See, it's just out of the strike zone, and Montero able to foul it off. That's hard to do. You get that good fastball in on your hands a few times. Rick, tendency is to want to get out there to catch up to it, but he did a good job of just staying back.
Got a piece of it, kept the at bat alive.
Yeah, 30th pitch coming up here for Malone.
And again, the 2-2. Swing and a miss at that breaking ball down and in for strike 3, and that will retire the side. But the Mariners get 3 on the big swing by Kendrys Morales, a 3-run shot into the A's bullpen. We go to the top half of the second here on Mother's Day 2013. Mariners 3, the A's nothing. Hello, Dave. Go to the top half of the second. As we mentioned, a very special day. It is Mother's Day here at Safeco Field, and all around baseball, a lot of players using these beautiful pink bats, Mike, and on the bat it says going to bat against breast cancer, and these bats and the wristbands, everything will be auctioned off, and the baseballs to raise money for breast cancer research.
Great.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great day for baseball, and it's a great thing that they do, and hopefully they raise a lot of money
and find a cure for breast cancer. So a special day for the moms here at the ballpark here on this beautiful Sunday here in the Northwest. Great looking bat, Mike. Here you go.
It's a great looking bat.
Leading things off for the Athletics, third baseman Josh Donaldson. He takes the strike from Joe Saunders. 0-1, and happy Mother's Day to your beautiful wife, Nicole.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, Nicole. Josh Donaldson hitting .301, 5 home runs and 25 runs batted in. Down low for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Donaldson, Montz, and Norris for the A's here in the top half of the second.
Joe Saunders had an easy go of it in the first, throwing just 12 pitches, had a 1-2-3 inning, and he would like to do that again, have Malone go right back out on the mound. He threw 30 pitches. Malone threw 30 pitches in the first, gave up 3 runs. So Saunders would like to get off the field as quickly as possible and let his offense go back to work for him.
And he gets that pitch on by Donaldson with power from the right side, and the count is even at 2-2.
Donaldson, he's the one you have to be careful of, and there's a reason why he's hitting cleanup today. One, he's been a hot hitter, hitting .301 overall with 5 home runs. He had a home run in last night's game, but he's also hit .545 off of Joe Saunders.
Outside, ball 3, 3-2. 2 for 4 last night, a home run into the A's bullpen. Payoff pitch. Ground ball inside the bag at first and down the right field line. Donaldson heading for second. Up with the ball, Michael Morse. The throw to second is not in time. So Donaldson with a leadoff double here in the top half of inning number 2. Well, friends, join Major League Baseball and the Mariners in going to bat against breast cancer. Purchase a pink bat for someone you love today at MLB.com, and $10 will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation for the cure. And to recognize someone you know who is going to bat against breast cancer, visit MLBcommunity.org. Buy one of those pink bats. Here's designated hitter Luke Montz. Montz's first appearance of the series for the A's. Well hit down the left field line. That's going to be a fair ball into the corner. Scoring from second, Donaldson, and at second goes Montz. The throw to second cut off by Brennan Ryan, and the A's have a quick run here in the top of inning number 2, and it's now the Mariners 3 and the Athletics 1. Montz just called up on May the 1st from AAA Sacramento, where he was hitting .283 with 5 home runs and 12 runs batted in.
He didn't mess around. First pitch to him, gets a pitch that's in the middle of the plate and hits it hard down into the corner. That'll score Donaldson. Donaldson, we were talking about how hot he is. Sometimes, Rick, the guy has your number and there isn't much you can do about it. It looked like Saunders had beat him with that fastball. He basically hits it out of the catcher's glove, and it turns into a double down the right field line, and then scores the run after the next hitter when Montz doubles down in the left field corner.
Here's Derek Norris, and he takes a pitch inside, ball 1. That's baseball, man. It just seems like,
yes, it is.
You have somebody's number. You feel comfortable. I don't know what it is. You had those guys. I mean,
sometimes you just see the ball really good for whatever reason. You just see the ball out of their hand early.
Line to the left field. A base hit for Norris. That'll send Montz to third. Up with the ball is Bay. The throw home will be cut off by Kyle Seager. So holding at third is Montz. That ball was hit sharply by Norris, and now the Athletics have runners at first and third with nobody out. They've got the tying runs aboard.
This is on a fastball. Another solid base hit into left field. It was hit hard. Bay was playing deep, but it was hit so hard it was able to get to him in a hurry, and he had to hold the runner up. Mike Gallego, the third base coach for the Athletics. He's have hit well with runners in scoring position this year. Coming to the game hitting .265, and now they're 2 for 2.
And that'll bring up big first baseman Nate Freeman. Freeman hitting. And he takes a strike. 0-1. Batting .225 on the year. 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. Infield back looking for a ground ball. Ground ball to short. Ryan will have to charge. He'll throw to the plate, and it's going to be in time. They get Montz trying to score. Heck of a play by Brennan Ryan. It wasn't hit all that hard. I don't know if they could have turned the double play, but he went home. Down with a tag, Montero. They get Montz at the plate for the first out of the inning.
Take a look at our money tree. Just in time in the defense by Brendan Ryan. Just in time is right. Z comes in right away. I think you're right, Rick. I think he realized it was going to be difficult to turn the double play. Charges the ball immediately. And a good play by Kelly Shopping. He didn't give Montz anywhere to go as far as getting to the plate. Or excuse me, Montero. Great play by Montero to drop that shin guard. We've seen him do that a few times this year.
Look at that. Right in front of the plate, going up for the throw, then down with a tag in time to get Montz.
Good play by Jesus Montero. Great play by Brendan Ryan. Heads up play.
So now the A's have runners at first and second. Brandon Moss with a swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1, and now a ground ball can get you out of the inning. So Norris is on at second, Freeman on at first base. But a quick play by Brendan Ryan and that ground ball to short. Here's a look at it one more time. And on that ground ball, Mike, Brendan had to stay low, so
he just wanted to get rid of it quickly. Get it in the area at home plate, and then let Montero have some time to protect himself, which he was able to do, and he dropped that shin guard right in front of home plate.
Moss just fouls one off his foot.
And Joe Saunders quickly ahead of Moss. He's really done an excellent job on left-handers this year. Lefty's only hitting 167 off of Saunders. And Moss, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, they're going to give Moss a little time to get some feeling back in that foot after that wicked foul ball. 1 run in on the back-to-back doubles by Donaldson and Montz. Then the base hit by Norris. So you have Norris at second, Freeman on at first base. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. The fastball from Joe Saunders gets Moss looking. First strikeout for Saunders, and it's out number 2 for the A's here in the second.
Perfect pitch for Saunders. 91-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner.
2 on, 2 away, 1 run in. And here's left fielder Michael Taylor. Taylor, since joining the ball club, just 1 for 16. Big kid. Pops him up, shallow right field, going out. Justin Smoak down the line, and he's there and makes the catch, and that will retire the side. Nice job by Joe Saunders to get out of a jam after giving up only the 1 run, and a nice play by Brendan Ryan and Jesus Montero. We go to the bottom of the second. Mariners 3 and the Athletics 1. One as we go to the bottom half of the second. Say, friends, in honor of last year's pitching perfection, we've got the perfect giveaway on Saturday, May 25th. The first 20,000 fans will take home a Felix Hernandez perfect game bobblehead when the Mariners take on the Rangers, courtesy of Root Sports. For tickets to pick up this one-of-a-kind bobblehead celebrating King Felix's historic outing, visit mariners.com. Welcome back to Safeco Field here on Mother's Day 2013. Second baseman Robert Andino will lead things off. 0-1. A's get a run in the top half of the second on the back-to-back doubles by Donaldson and Montz, and then Saunders a great job along with his defense to take care of the rest of them.
Wasn't it?
Outstanding. Sneaking that fastball on by Moss with the second out for a strikeout for Saunders. The nice play by Ryan to come home to get Montz at the plate.
Change up to Taylor, a young hitter, probably aggressive in that situation. Popped it up.
In the dirt, ball 2-2-1. The Mariners made Malone work low in the bottom of the first inning, made him throw 30 pitches.
More importantly, they also scored 3 runs thanks to the 3-run home run by Morales.
Gave Joe an early lead. Fly ball left center field, drifting back. Cespedes and Taylor. It is going to be Cespedes who will make the easy catch, and there's one away. Well, let's see what Mariner topics are being discussed on Twitter right now. My guess is that guy right there. Yes, it is Kendrys Morales, a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first inning, his 4th home run of the year.
And of course, the moms.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day. I miss my mom. She was unbelievable.
How long have you had that pin that you wear on your lapel of your jacket from your mom?
When she passed away in 2000. Went home for the service, and my brother said, "What do you want?" I said, "I just want this Guardian Angel I bought for her the year before for Christmas." Yeah. She was something. Ryan sends a fly ball into center field, and Cespedes is there to make the catch. And there's 2 outs. You talk about, doing everything right as a mom. She was absolutely perfect. Best cook in the world. Every Wednesday night, pasta night, Sunday afternoon, pasta day. You can smell that spaghetti halfway down the street, Mike. The
everybody in the neighborhood was at your house.
Man, even my neighbor's dog, Champ, he would always come by, and she'd always, you know, she loved Champ. There's this little, well overfed dog, and my best friend's
a lot of
dog.
pasta for that dog.
Every Sunday, Champ knew it was pasta day, and Champ would come by and scratch on the back door, and my mom would let him in and give him a meatball and some spaghetti. I go, Mom, here's the pitch on the way to Michael Saunders, lone outside ball one. She goes, we got enough. Champ is hungry.
It's great.
Oh, man. Then she'd cut me a little piece of Parmesan cheese, you know. Strike on Saunders, and the count is now 1-1. And now I go to Costco, get a big chunk of Parmesan cheese, and I get a big chunk now. She made that block of Parmesan Reggiano cheese last for a long time. Fouled away by Saunders, and the count 1-2. And we're a one-car family. My dad would go to work about 6 o'clock in the morning, but my mom always found the way to Little League ballpark.
They all do. Amazing. I was looking at the schedule that Nicole has for my boys that are in the middle of the stuff now. I don't know how she does it.
Way up high on Saunders. Ball 2. 2-2 the count. So, again, happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there.
All of you.
2-2. Got him swinging. And that will retire the side. A 1-2-3, bottom half of the second. We go to the third here at Safeco Field. It's the Mariners 3 and the A's 1. As we head to the top half of the sixth inning, the third inning, final game of the 3-game series between the Mariners and the A's before the Mariners head out on the road to New York, Cleveland, and Anaheim. Top of the third, and Adam Rosales will lead things off. Rosales 0 for 1.
Ready to go to get that pasta already. You made me hungry too. Way to go.
Man, I could use some right now. Although breakfast was pretty good at the press room, Blow.
It was good. Yeah, we've had an omelet today.
Yeah. On a play in the first base side of the count is even of Rosales at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Joe had to work a little bit in the second inning. He's able to get a run. Fancy pitching by Saunders to hold him to just 1 run. See if he can have a quick one again. First inning was quick for him, only 12 pitches. He went a 1-2-3 inning.
Struck out Moss, got Taylor to pop up to smoke in behind the bag. 2-1 now the count on Rosales.
I was thinking at the start of the game, one of the things that, because you have Saunders, left-hander, good changeup, Malone the same, that for these guys, probably the most important person in the ballpark today is going to be the home plate umpire. That's Dan Bellino. And we'll see, they like to pitch off the edges of the plate. And both of them similar pitches. I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to expand the zone a little bit because they're going to pitch in the same areas. There's a good fastball in the inside corner.
You bring up something like that, the first guy I think of is Jamie Moyer.
Jamie Moyer was the best at it, and you and I were having that conversation in between bites of our omelets this morning. But Jamie is somebody, and he'll tell you that he knew that he had to pitch in an area. Typically, he'd like to get a little bit off the plate and work his way into it as the game went on. And he was stubborn about it, I'll tell you that. He would just stay there until the umpire started giving him that pitch. But Jamie was also had the ability to throw it in that spot, pitch after pitch after pitch is what made him so tough.
And that is just inside for ball 4. So Rosales with a leadoff walk here in the top of the third. It's Mother's Day, and some of the guys had a chance to talk about their moms. And here is Mariner third baseman Kyle Seager.
She had to sacrifice a lot of time, especially for me and my brothers. I know there's probably a 12-year span where we spent about 8 hours a day on a baseball field between the three of us. So she had a lot of traveling to do and had a lot of hours to spend watching baseball. So.
And every guy in the ball club has a great story like that about their mom. Lowry with a drive into center field, but Michael Saunders is there and he makes the catch. Hard hit ball by Jed Lowry, but he's out number 1. And back to first goes Rosales.
He's really been swinging the bat well, hasn't he? I know that's an out, but it was hit on the button, a liner all the way out to center.
He was 4 for 8 in the opening 2 games of this 3-game series. 3-1 Mariners, top of the third, and here is Yoenis Cespedes. Bounce went back to Saunders in the first inning. Cespedes spending some time on the disabled list in April, from April the 13th to the 28th with a sprained left hand. Had the problem last year. And that's a tough injury for anybody, Mike, because that's the way you make your living as a hitter.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it enough with Michael Morris and the fracture of that finger in his hand, and he hasn't swung the bat like he was before that happened. He was really swinging the bat well, and he's trying to find it again since then. I think what happens.
Right past Saunders and into center field. Down to second goes Rosales. A low flying line drive that barely missed Saunders.
But I think what happens is when you have an injury like something with your hands or your wrists, you make adjustments because you want to be in the lineup, and then you eventually get away from some of the strengths that you have as a hitter. You see this line drive on our McDonald's Supermo go right past Saunders up the middle. He tried the skate save, didn't quite work. But then you get into some bad habits, and it takes you a little bit of time to get back. And Michael will get there, and so will Cespedes. They're both tremendous hitters with a lot of power. They'll get there.
Here's third baseman Josh Donaldson. And Michael Boyce, the last 2 years in Washington, hit .301 and .295. Steve Reich one called on Donaldson.
And you know what, Rick? It'll go. It's hard to see, especially early in the season. But for Michael, I appreciate the fact that he fought his way back in the lineup, and it was at a critical time because Gutierrez wasn't available, Saunders wasn't available. He knew the outfield was hurting. He missed 3 games himself, but he came back in there, and his presence alone in the lineup makes a difference. And so, and because of that, I think you have to have some patience and give him a chance to work through some struggles that he's going through right now. Definitely gained a lot of respect from his teammates for doing that.
Absolutely hung in there at a time when his club really needed him. In the dirt, good stop by Montero. Ball 1-1 on Donaldson. This guy hits the ball hard. 18 walks. That is 10th in the American League for Donaldson. Dublin scored in the second. Down and away. Ball 2.
And that's a pitch that Joe has to have. That's a good change up on the outside corner. There you go. Take a look at our EQC tracer and the location of that pitch. That's a perfect pitch. He has to have that to have success. And he threw that pitch in that area, hoping to get a ground ball, get the double play, and get off the field.
Dan Bellino played umpire this afternoon, but that pitch was right there. Strike on the inside corner. Came back with a fastball, and the count goes to 2-2. But you're right, that changeup down and away, that gets you that ground ball, gets you out of the inning. Ryan at short, and Dino getting the start at second base this afternoon for Dustin Ackley. Check swing, foul tipped it into the glove of Montero for strike 3. He just got a piece of it. Dolino said, no, you tipped it into his glove. So a strikeout for Saunders, his second, and there's 2 outs for the A's here in the third.
Well, this time he just elevates a fastball. It's on the inside corner, but up, an area that Donaldson can't handle it. One of his better fastballs at 92 miles an hour. Take a look at our McDonald Supermo to see if we can see if he actually did foul the pitch. Difficult to tell.
Luke Mont's a hitter, swinging a 1-hopper, making a 2-hopper that skips into the glove of Andino at second, and he throws Montz out at first base, and that'll end the inning. And again, Joe Saunders gets out of some trouble. We go to the bottom half of the third. It's the Mariners 3 and the A's 1. Park within the ballpark right here at Safeco Field. It's the Seattle Children's Playfield located in center field. It features great playground equipment and concession options for your youngest fans. So the next time your family is catching Mariners baseball, stop by the Seattle Children's Playfield. And there it is out there in center field right here at Safeco Field. We go to the bottom half of the third. Jason Bay will lead things off. It's the Mariners 3 and the A's 1. Kendrys Morales hitting a 3-run home run at the bottom of the first inning. Change up, strike on Bay, 0-1. Jason 0 for 1 is flied out to Cespedes in center field. Made a great catch robbing Kyle Seager last night. Up and in, ball 1-1 the count. And making that catch, there wasn't a whole lot of slowing down for Cespedes.
He definitely tested that wall, the strength of the wall out in left center field as he crashed into it.
1-2. You can hear hopefully an umpire Dan Bellino yell out 2. Ball 2. 2-2. Already 2 walks given up by Malone, both in the bottom of the first inning. 1-hopper back to the mound, taken by Malone, and he gets Bay at first base. 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the third. And that'll bring up third baseman Kyle Seager. Seager walked. He was aboard along with Michael Saunders when Morales hit that home run into the Oakland A's bullpen. You know, the guy who was just amazing on special days like Mother's Day?
Yep, I do.
Was your buddy, Ken Griffey Jr.
Number 24, yeah.
Mother's Day,
Bird
Father's
would be
Day.
in the stands all the time. He'd always hit her a homer, it seemed like.
Seemed like every year he came through for his mom. Seager lifts a fly ball into the gap in left center field. Cespedes on the move, and he's there. And reels it in for the second out of the inning. 2 outs.
Brings up the hitting star of the game, Kendrys Morales. Home run his first time up, a 3-run home run. I thought it was interesting, Rick. You had a chance to talk to Eric Wedge before the game today, and listening to the interview, he really put it on the veteran guys. He liked the fight of the guys last night, but he said these guys need to step up and come up with big hits, and that's why I thought it was great to see Morales hit that home run. You have Malone in trouble in the first inning, and he stepped up right there with a big hit, 3-run homer.
And he takes up high for ball 1, and yeah, Eric said, hey, the veterans got to get it done. You know, make adjustments at home plate and get that runner in from third base. And before the interview, I mentioned Jay Buhner, and you mentioned it to me the other day, what he tried to do. And he'd go up to home plate, not always looking for a home run, but he'd say he'd put his flicker swing on it to get a fly ball to the outfield.
There's no flicker there. That's damage as he hits it over the fence. 3-run home run in the first.
Early in the ball game, jumping on that pitch. There's a good changeup, cut on and miss, and the count is now 1-2 on Morales. But you saw Jay, when he had to, just hit that little fly ball in the outfield to get that runner in from third base with less than 2 outs.
It's not something that he did when he first came to the big leagues, but as you mentioned, veteran guys, he eventually figured it out.
Another changeup and a swing and a miss for strike 3, and another strikeout for Tommy Malone, his third. And after 3 innings of play here at Safeco Field, Mariners 3 and the A's 1. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us, and by Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club combo is back for a limited time only at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. Everybody coming in for some baseball this afternoon on this Mother's Day. Happy moms. Happy day for all you moms out there. Special day for the ladies here at Safeco Field. Everybody coming in to the ballpark. And we head to the top half of the 4th inning. Some of the moms out there in the landing in left center field, taking care of the kids, watching the game. Derek Norris will lead things off for the A's. Breaking ball for strike 0-1, and Mike Saunders has had to work a little bit over the last couple of innings, but he's come up with the big outs.
I think typically when you have left-handers that aren't overpowering, Rick, that's going to be the case. You talked about his complete game against Baltimore in his last outing here at home. Those games are nice when it happens, but I think for the most part, Joe is a veteran guy. He's used to pitching out of those situations, and I think a lot of times what he does is he plays on hitters and their anxieties and aggressiveness and their want to get that big base hit, and all of a sudden you see the quality changeup come out, and he typically gets some ground balls to help himself out.
Like he did with Michael Taylor on that off-speed pitch to get the final out. in the top half of the second. After the A's had scored a run, they had 2 aboard. Taylor popped it up to Justin Smoke. 1-2 on Norris. Fastball inside, backs him off the plate. 2-2 the count. You know, veteran pitchers, Mike, you know exactly what a guy is going to try to do to try to get you out. But the thing about the ones that are successful, they can execute that pitch.
They have to.
They can get it there.
They have to. And if he throws a changeup right here where he wants to, there's not much you can do about it but hit it on the ground like that.
Mike Gallego makes a nice stop over there, coaching at third base, gives the ball to a youngster on that side of the field. Look at that at home, 3 starts, 2-0 record, and a 0.81 ERA. Different story on the road. 12.5 ERA away from Safeco Field.
You look at his road numbers last year. I think he's a 2.66 ERA last year when he was on the road. So if he's going to pitch like he has at home and figure it out on the road, that's pretty strong. And I think that he will. It's be a different situation if he hasn't had success pitching away from his home ballpark, but he's had a lot of it.
As a matter of fact, he had better numbers for his career on the road. Small sample size, 3 starts, 4 starts, home
this year,
on the road this year.
And you're talking about his career.
But on his career, he's been better on the road. A 3.94 ERA compared to 4.47 inside on Norris for ball 3-2. Numbers can get kind of funny for a team and for guys at certain stretches
and even certain years, Rick.
So that's
years. You know, I mean, you're going to have a year where things go great and you're a huge year, and other years where you just struggle.
Chop it at third, one hopper handled by Seager, toss across in time to get Norris, and there's 1 away. The guy that stands out for me is Irvin Santana. He'd have a good year and a bad year and a good year and a bad year, and that went for about 6-7 years. Every other year was a good one.
But I think that for the most part, guys that are in the league, whether you're a hitter or a pitcher, if you can stay in the league for a period of time to where those samples mean something, for the most part they're going to have the same type of year after year after year. They will have that one down year, and they will have that one year where they exceed what their expectations or what you would normally see on the back of their baseball card. But typically everything in between, you can count on that.
And then Sparky Anderson would tell you, you is what you is.
A lot of truth to that.
Nate Freeman, the hitter. And look at that, Mike, just dotting that outside corner. But 2-0 the count.
Well, and think about it. Now he's 3-0. But even the pitch before that, if he had thrown that fastball, well, that was a good pitch again. So, hey, 3 pitches. Should have a strikeout. Instead, he's behind.
3-0. And he walks him and put an asterisk next to the word walk.
Yeah, he looked like he was a little bit frustrated.
Look at that pitch. 1 on and 1 away. That's the first. Make it the second walk.
I look at the first 2 pitches, Rick, because we talked about it with Dan Bellino behind the plate. Those are pitches that are quality pitches for strikes that he has to have, and he didn't get them right there. And I'm not talking about pitches off the plate. Those pitches are strikes.
Got a pretty good piece of that corner, and a strike on Moss, and the count is 0-1. But you have to stay out there.
He has to pitch there.
Cut on and missed by Moss, and the count is 0-2.
Like good slider. Again, left-handers hitting just 167 coming into the game, and was able to strike Moss out his first time up, quickly ahead of him 0-2 here.
Got him swinging with a breaking ball, strike 3. So 3 strikeouts for Joe Saunders. Second time he has fanned Brandon Moss, and the A's have 2 out here in the top half of the 4th. Didn't waste any time. Got him with 3 pitches, Mike. And here's left fielder Michael Taylor. Taylor went after an off-speed pitch and popped up to Justin Smoke at first base. And there's a strike on Taylor. 0-1. 1 for 17 on the year since coming up from the minor leagues. Taylor. This young man fills up the right side of the batter's box, doesn't he?
Good guy.
Down and in. All 1-1-1. Joe Saunders from Springfield, Virginia. First round draft pick in June of 2002 by the Angels. That's some good years with the Angels. Fouled away behind home plate, and the count is 1-2 on Taylor. He was with the Angels from 2005 to 2010. Then it was on to the Diamondbacks for a couple of years. Traded away by the Diamondbacks to the Baltimore Orioles last year. Last couple of months of the season, it was 3-3 with Baltimore. And the Orioles sent Saunders to the mound to start that one-game wild card playoff with the Texas Rangers, and he beat the Rangers 5-1. In the dirt, knocking it down, Montero to keep. Freeman over at first base, and it's 2-2 on Taylor. I was talking with some of the guys when the Orioles were in town a few weeks ago, and said he just pitched a heck of a game that night against Texas. Freeman at first. In on Taylor, ball 3. Full count, 3-2, and now with 2 outs, Freeman can take off at first base. Adam Rosales due up next. 3-1 Mariners, top half of the 4th. Freeman goes, pitch to Taylor, swung on, and a fly ball into right field. Michael Morse is there and makes the catch for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Mariners 3 and the A's 1. Now for our AT&T trivia question, Curtis Wilson has come up with a beauty. Which pair of twins, since it's Mother's Day, was the last to be Major League Baseball teammates? Jose and Ozzie Canseco, Ryan and Damon Minard, Eddie and Johnny O'Brien, 2 great guys. Joe and Red Shannon. Text A, B, C, or D to 733-733. Proud mama of twins to be teammates in the major leagues. What do you think, Mike? Some moms with their kids here at the ballpark. Mom could go to one game and watch both kids play. The Cansecos, the Miners,
well, the Cansecos.
Michael Morse
sure played together. No,
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I'm going with these guys, Eddie and Johnny O'Brien, because I know that they played together.
And you're sure they're twins?
I know these guys. Yes. 1-1 the count on Morse. Ooh, that's a good one.
It's Curtis.
Ooh,
Curtis Morgan.
Curtis is good. Well hit left center field. Taylor on the run. Can't get there. Morse extra bases. Heading for second. The throw to second. Nobody's there. And Michael Morse is in at second with a leadoff double. The first baseman Freeman was trailing as the A's had the double cut with Rosales and Lowry going after the throw. Wow, what a shot by Michael Morse, Mike.
Well, make him feel a little bit better. Gain some confidence. Solid line drive into the gap. Found a pitch that was away from him. We were talking about it earlier, him getting extended. Good way to start this inning. Leadoff double by Michael.
And they'll bring up first baseman Justin Smoak as Morse gets his lead at second base. I'm still going with Eddie.
I'm in with you.
Johnny O'Brien.
I'll go with C.
Breaking ball for a strike, going one. The fans, Mike, are going with the Cansecos right now, the early balloting. Over 40% going with the Canseco Twins. Tommy Milone will look back. Fouled away by Smoak into the glove of the catcher Norris, and the count is 0-2. Johnny and Eddie O'Brien grew up in New York, but they landed in Seattle to play basketball at Seattle University, and they had a great career, athletic careers here in Seattle, and then signed major league contracts with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They both played for the Milwaukee Braves. Inside on Smoak for ball 1, 1 and 2. I've had the pleasure of knowing these guys for years. Johnny worked at the Kingdom for a long time. Eddie O'Brien, I had a chance to see him every year when we have dinner at Moose Clausen's house in December. Eddie and Johnny come on by and tell stories. And Mike, I tell you what, it was so much fun listening to those stories from the 1950s and the 60s. And they played blowing inside ball 2, 2 and 2 the count.
Where did they play basketball?
Seattle University.
Seattle, yeah.
Their jerseys retired. Johnny O'Brien wasn't a real tall guy. He was their center. The Harlem Globetrotters came to town and they beat the Globetrotters. And Johnny scored about 40-something points. Ground ball to the right side. That's going to advance Morris to third base. Up with the ball is Lowry, and he gets smoked at first. Nicely done by Justin to advance the runner.
Good productive out.
Hard hit ball the other way, Mike.
Well, he would like to get a base hit and drive the run in if he can, but if he's going to make an out, he wants to make sure that he moves Morris up, who led the inning off with a double. That's the reason why Justin needed a lot of high fives in the dugout for him. Now it's up to Montero to pick it up.
Do the little things.
Do the little things. It looks like the A's will play their infield about halfway, not all the way in.
Jesus Montero with a chance to drive and a run with a healthy fly ball. Low and inside, ball 1. Montero 0 for 1 on the day. Had that long at bat before striking out against Milone in the bottom of the first inning. 1-1 at Jesus. When Seattle U beat the Globetrotters, that was back in 1952. A year before I was born.
Oh, I thought you were at that game.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I wasn't at any game in 1952. Low and inside, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Johnny and Eddie O'Brien from South Amboy, New Jersey. Two great guys. Eddie showed up in the booth a few weeks ago with his wife, along with Moose Clausen and his wife Dorothy. I'm hearing stories about Roberto Clemente, Hank Aaron, their teammates. Fouled back, 2-2. I think Eddie, they were twins. I know they were twins because Eddie and Johnny played a trick on Danny Murtaugh, who was manager of the Pirates, and Johnny wanted to take some time off, and Eddie pretended he was Johnny. and wore his jersey and got away with it, I think. And if you're watching the telecast, or Johnny, give me a call. Have Moose give me a call. Tell me the story. It's fouled back by Montero. The count is still 2-2.
See that last pitch, elevated fastball, able to get a piece of it.
+60 pitches for Malone. Line drive, left field, base hit. Yes, indeed, it will work. And here comes Michael Morse on to score. That was a rocket off the bat of Montero. And the Mariners now lead the Athletics 4-1. What a shot.
Some good fundamental baseball by the Mariners. Leadoff double, get him over with a ground ball to second, and this line drive in the left field by Montero. Picks up an RBI for Montero. His 9th RBI on the season.
Mariners with their 4th run of the afternoon. That'll bring up second baseman Robert Andino. Fly ball into shallow right field. A long run for Brandon Moss, and he makes the catch toward the line for the second out of the inning. Brings up shortstop Brendan Ryan. Here's a look back at the nice play turned in by Brendan Ryan to get it out at the plate. And a nice catch and tag as Montero got that knee down, Mike, to get the tag on Montz.
Well, he was able to get that knee down because Brendan Ryan was able to get rid of the ball quickly. Was the key. Even though the throw was a little bit high, Brendan gave it to him in plenty of time so he could protect himself.
And here's Brendan for the second time up this afternoon. 0-for-1 is flied out to Cespedes in center field. 0-1. Malone 1-0 against the Mariners this year. First start of the year, April the 3rd, won 6-2 in Oakland. The Mariners won the opening 2 games of the season at the Oakland Coliseum. The A's came back to win the next 2. And Malone won 6-2, went 7 innings in that start, gave up 2 runs, walked only 1, struck out 3. Hasn't walked a batter in his previous 2 starts. Fly ball, left field toward the line. Michael Taylor still on the run, reaches out, slides, and he makes the catch. Just inside fair territory. Heck of a play by Michael Taylor. Had a long way to go and then went into that slide, and he comes up with a baseball. The Mariners get a run here at the bottom of the 4th, and after 4 innings of play, Mariners 4 and the A's 1. Time now for a CenturyLink to What's Next. And what's next is the upcoming series in New York against the Yankees starting on Tuesday night. Mike, what a matchup.
Great pitching matchup. Felix going against CC Sabathia. He can be tough also. You have Iwakuma. And Aaron Harang going against Andy Pettit. Andy Pettit's still going.
How about that?
He
retired and came
4.
back.
Yeah.
Ever think about coming back?
No.
Top half of the 5th inning here at Safeco Field. 4-1 the Mariners lead. And Alan Rosales leads it off and looks at ball 1. Rosales 0 for 1. He has grounded out to Andino, and he has walked. There is a strike, and the count is even on Rosales at 1-1. You got to be in some kind of shape to come back after saying you were retired, and did. Ground ball off to his left. Brendan Ryan makes the play, and 1 away for the A's here in the top half of the 5th inning. 4-1 Mariners lead. Let's check in with Tom Glasgow. All right, we'll check in with Tom in just a moment with an update about what's going on around Major League Baseball on this Mother's Day, on this Sunday, 2013. Technical problem with his microphone. Here is Jed Lowrie, and Lowrie takes ball 1. Lowrie is 0 for 2, has flied out twice. Flied out to Morrison right field. He is lined out to Saunders in center field. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. We'll check in with Tom in just a moment. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers and our associate director up here in the booth, Robbie Nielsen. Happy Mother's Day to your mom, Robbie. Fouled back by Lowrie, and the count goes to 2-1. Good to see a lot of moms here at Safeco Field this afternoon. One hopper off to the left of Brendan Ryan. Spin move sets up, and he gets Lowrie at first base. Brendan Ryan, he can make all the plays and then some. And 2 outs for the Athletics here in the top half of the 5th inning. All right, let's check in with Tom Glasgow. Tom?
All right, Rick, thanks a lot. You know, they told me part of this gig was turning the microphone on, I guess. All right, let's check in on the Yankees team you guys are going to be seeing on Tuesday. And right now they are baseball's hottest club and showing some power today in Kansas City. Back-to-back jacks. First of all, Robinson Cano going yard. That's followed up by Vernon Wells, his 9th of the season. The AL East leading Yankees with 5 straight wins. They beat the Royals today 4-2. Always works better with a microphone to talk, guys.
Hey, Tom, just a reminder, it's that little bitty button on the bottom of that Mr. Microphone there.
And the big sign on my desk that says mic on ?
Exactly.
I answered that in the negative.
All right, we got that technical difficulty worked out. All right, 2-0 on Cespedes. Sends a pop-up into shallow right field toward the line. Michael Morse on the move. He got some run, jumps up, and it's off his glove in fair territory. Cespedes in at second base. Michael overran it down that right field line. Then had to reach back and hit off his glove, and that is going to be an error on Michael Morse.
Overran it. Tried to slow down as he's looking up. Good look from our McDonald Supermo, and you can see him reach back, and it goes off the top of his glove. He's running over. Well, it's hard to slow down. Yeah. He knows the wall is coming up, and he just overruns it so many times in these stadiums. It's his first error of the year in right field. In these big stadiums where so many times the ball, when it's hit high like that, it'll start to funnel back towards the field to play. And Michael just overran it.
1 on and 2 outs. Josh Donaldson sends a fly ball into right field. Michael Morse going back. He's there and makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and a man left on. Halfway point. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Our score: the Mariners 4 and the A's 1. Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Halfway point, Mother's Day here at Safeco Field. The pink caps, players with the pink bats and shoes and wristbands. Great to have the moms out here. Hey, there's a King Felix t-shirt right there. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Michael Saunders trying to bunt, pops it in the air along the first base line. Going to be picked up by Freeman and no play as Saunders races by Freeman for the infield bunt base hit.
Mariners now have 2 bunt hits, and both of them coming from Michael Saunders. Tried to take that with him. Probably wanted to take it out towards second base, but because the right side of the infield all playing deep, it popped up in the air, and Freeman, the first baseman, not able to get to it.
And Saunders with that good speed getting down that line as Freeman was coming in. Saunders was going by in the other direction. Raced right on by Freeman. So one aboard for Jason Bay. And a move to first base. And Saunders gets back, and he was spinning his wheels.
Malone has a good move. He will pick up the right leg and just hang there for a second. Take a look at you. See Michael, a little stutter step, and then dives back in. Quick tag by Freeman.
Always reach for that back corner of the bag. Outside, ball 1, Bay. Jason has flied out to Cespedes in center and bounced back to Malone. Malone for his career 3-1 against the Mariners in 6 starts and a 2.63 ERA. Inside to Jason, ball 2, 2-1. Malone has pitched great, but nothing to show for it in his last 4 starts. Last 4 outings, he has a 2.63 ERA, and he's gone 0-4 with just 2 walks and 26 strikeouts. Look at what he's doing. First time around the lineup, second. Two and 2.
See what he's done. Pickoffs to 1. He's only thrown over there 15 times. Surprising.
Yeah. With as many changeups as that he throws.
And he has a good move. You would think he'd help himself out by picking off a few guys. There's one.
Saunders 6 stolen bases in 6 attempts. A real nice job of that leadoff.
Well, I think if Michael is going to steal here, he's not going to try to read him. He's going to go on his first move, take off right away, and try to guess right.
And a move to first base. It's back.
I think it's safe to say the word is out on Michael Saunders. If he's only thrown over there 15 times this year, he's already thrown 3 times just this time with Michael at first, trying to pick him off.
Fouled away. Still 2-2 on Bay. Nice crowd this afternoon on this Sunday in baseball. Happy Mother's Day. Saunders at first, held on by Nate Fryman. Two. Fouled on a plane. It's still 2-2 on Bay with Kyle Seager due up next. Canada very well represented with the first 2 hitters in this lineup today for the Mariners. Michael Saunders from Victoria and Jason Bay from Trail, British Columbia. Bay had some good years in Pittsburgh. We were just there a few days ago, and everybody still remembers Bay when he played there from 03 to 08. Ground ball to third. Donaldson off his glove and into left field. Saunders with a good speed heading for third. The throw by Rosales back to Donaldson, not in time. Heads up play and good hustle by Michael Saunders. The air by Donaldson, and the Mariners have runners at first and third with nobody out.
I'm not sure if Donaldson saw this because he actually went the opposite direction of where the ball was, or maybe it took a bad hop. We'll take a look at it here. Ground ball. And for some reason, he went to his right, and the ball was hit to his left. That is a break for the Mariners. Good hustle by Saunders. Take a look at it again as he reaches out off the end of his glove. Saunders thinking he might have to break up a double play. Sees the ball get past Donaldson and just keeps on going. Nobody at third.
Man, he turned down the Jets, Mike.
Watch Donaldson again. He moves to his right, and the ball is to his left.
Didn't see it very well off the bat, did he?
No.
So 2 on for Kyle Seager. Mariners trying to add to that 4-1 lead. Strike 1 on Kyle. And they have given Bay a base hit.
I think they have to. He reached out as far as he could, went off the end of his glove. There's nothing else that he could do about it. Just because he went to his right first, I think it's a base hit.
So Bay gets the single.
You disagree?
I do, but I'm glad he got the hit. And a throw over to first base, and Bay gets back to the bag.
So you wanted his arm to grow a little bit longer or something, or what did you want him to do?
Read it right off the bat. But you're the man. You've been over there at third base.
It's a base hit.
I was way back there at second base. Long. Way up and in. Heads up, Kyle, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Two on, nobody out.
Take a look at it. Kyle trying to stay in there, and it's uncomfortable. Malone certainly didn't mean to throw the pitch there. He was just trying to get it in on the hands of Kyle and ended up getting away from him.
Fly ball into right field. Backing up is Moss to the warning track. That's going to score a run. Moss is there to make the catch. Tagging Saunders. He'll score easily. The throw will go into second. A sacrifice fly for Kyle Seager. And it's now the Mariners 5 and the Athletics 1. RBI number 17 for Seager.
Again, Reggie, just good fundamental baseball by the Mariners. One, Saunders in his base running, taking the extra base, getting to third. And then Kyle Seager, the sacrifice fly, almost hit this pitch out of the ballpark. Chase Moss all the way up against the fence on the warning track.
And now we'll have some activity down to the bullpen for the A's. Neshek beginning to warm up for Oakland. 1 on, 1 away, and a run in. Five to 1 Mariners lead. Kendrys Morales the hitter. 1 for 2 with that big 3-run home run at the bottom of the first inning. Ball 1. The count. "79 pitches for Tommy Malone, 50 for strikes." Mariners made him work 30 pitches back to the first inning. He threw quite a bit in the fourth. Good changeup in the count, 1-2. He always has that pitch in his hip pocket.
Surprised he hasn't thrown it more today. It's been around 60% fastball. That's been his best pitch.
Got a good one. And the dirt bounces away from Norris, the catcher, and down to second goes Bay on a wild pitch, and the count is even now on Morales at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mariners so far 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position. One of those 2 hits, the home run by Morales in the first inning, a 3-run home run.
Morales a chance now to drive in his 4th run of the afternoon. Sends a fly ball into straightaway center field, backing up Cespedes to make the catch, tagging big, but now he'll stop there. The throw to third on a hop to Donaldson by Cespedes. 2 outs for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And here is Michael Morse, who led off the bottom of the 4th inning with a line drive double into the gap in left center field. 1 for 2 on the day.
I'm not sure they'll pitch to him here.
And you're right, Mike. So Morse will get the intentional walk. And this will be the 3rd walk coming up by Malone. He walked 2 back in the 1st inning. So they take the bat away from Michael Morse. And I think especially that last at bat had something to do with this move right here.
That had something to do with it. And I think he's also going with just the sheer numbers. And when you look at Justin overall, he's been swinging the bat much better, hitting .241. But his struggles have been from this side of the plate. Only .167 hitting right-handed. So I think that Bob certainly aware of that. Going to go with the numbers right here. Along with that line drive that was hit to left center field.
So ball 4 coming up right here to Michael Morse, and there it is. So Michael will drop the bat, hand it to the Mariner bat boy. Now the Mariners have 2 on with 2 away and a run in here in the bottom of the 5th inning for Justin Smoak, with Jesus Montero due up next. Smoak walked back in the 1st inning and had a very productive out as he grounded out to Lowry, the second baseman, with Michael Morse on at second and nobody out. He hit that ground ball to the right side to get Morse to third, and then he scored another base hit by Montero. Right-handed, hitting just .167. Doing the damage from the left side, better from the left side. 0-1. Up behind home plate, just off dry right, and the count is 0-2 on Smoak. And there's a look at Bay on at second, and Michael Morse is on at first base. Way inside, knocking it down. Norris, the catcher, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Norris and Malone came over in that trade with the Washington Nationals in December of 2011 in that trade for Gio Gonzalez. Justin Smoak hitting .280 his last 22 games. But a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that will retire the side. Well, the Mariners pick up a run on a sacrifice fly by Kyle Seager. After 5 innings of play, it's the Mariners 5 and the Athletics 1. All right, our trivia question. 5-1, the Mariners lead as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. The last pair of twins to be Major League teammates, was it Jose and Ozzie Canseco, Ryan and Damon Minor, Eddie and Johnny O'Brien, or Joe or Red Shannon to be teammates? And the fans have voted. They're saying, Mike, the Canseco twins.
Maybe it was the Canseco twins. I wasn't sure.
And the answer is A, Jose and Ozzie Canseco.
The fans get it right.
1990 with the Oakland A's. Eddie and Johnny were teammates, 1956-58 with the Pirates. And then Joe and Ed Shannon, also teammates as twins. Bounce foul on the first base side by Lou Montz, leading off the top half of the 6th inning. And the count is even on Montz at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mariners leading 5-1 behind the pitching of Joe Saunders, and some good at bats offensively by the Mariners in this game. The big hit, a 3-run home run by Morales. Another chopper fouled away on the third base side. 1-2 on Montz.
That was the big hit, but I think one of the things that Eric Wedge will be happy about, Rick, is the 4th and the 5th innings. Good fundamental baseball to pick up another run and then another run to add to what they have. Just fundamentally doing things correctly without coming up with that big clutch hit has produced 2 more runs for him.
And that's what we were talking about on the pregame show on the radio side, with Eric having those type of at bats that eventually lead to runs. The infield out by Justin Smoke that moved Morris along from second to third. Seager, the sacrifice
by
fly.
Montero after that to get the ball in the air towards the outfield, turn into a base hit. But if the left fielder catches that ball, it's still going to be a sacrifice fly. As this ball skied to the middle of the infield, that's a major league pop-up.
Way out there, middle of the diamond. Brendan Wright taking over, leans back, and he makes the catch. And there's 1 out for the A's here in the top of the 6th inning. Now let's check in with Tom Glasgow, who has turned the right button on. He's got the microphone on. Hi, Tommy.
You just made an assumption, Rick, but you're right.
No, I can hear your voice.
We got it on this time. Let's check in with the Tacoma Rainiers. They are in New Orleans, and starting this game for the Rainiers, Jeremy Bonderman, who is continuing his comeback from health trouble and had a nice outing today. 6 1/3 innings. He gave up just 2 earned runs on 9 hits. That game is tied at 2 in the 10th, and we'll update you with the final a little bit later on back upstairs.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. And here's catcher Derek Norris, and he takes a look at ball 1.
And then the one that was really impressive was the 5th inning, because it starts off with a bunt base hit. Michael Saunders leading the inning off, gets a bunt base hit. Clean base hit by Bay into left field, right, to move Saunders around to third.
Yeah.
And then the sacrifice fly by Kyle Seager.
Took that wicked hop on Donaldson after the misread. Swinging a foul back by Norris, and the count is now 2-1. But no, that was a good way to start things off. The single by Saunders, Bay's infield base hit.
I like the bunt in that inning, and then I like the sacrifice fly, especially after the fastball over Kyle's head. He comes back with a breaking ball. Kyle stays in there, which is not an easy thing to do, and elevates the ball. Almost hit a home run off on that pitch. But the bottom line is he gets the run in.
And how many times did you do that? You know, your job was to hit a fly ball, hit the ball, get the ball in the air, and then, you know, if you get your pitch and hit it well, sometimes it'll go out.
I think that good things seem to happen when you're trying to do the right thing.
And that misses, ball 4. So Norris with a walk, and he's on at first base. 1 on and 1 away. You do get rewarded for doing the right thing, just like when you were a kid at home with your mom.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. That's one way to put it. That's good. But I think even with Smoke on the ground ball to second to move Morris up after the leadoff double, he hit the ball firmly. Of course, I guarantee if he tries that more times than not, that ball's going to either find a hole or he's going to get a base hit into right field. Yeah. But the bottom line is he makes an out there, which of course baseball's a game of failure. You make a lot of outs, but it was a productive out.
Get the job done.
That's it.
Get that runner long. Advance the runner 90 feet. The next guy has a chance to do some damage.
Yeah. And what Eric was talking about to you before the game, the veteran guys, and I can remember Lou Piniella at times would talk about that, and basically I can remember him yelling from the dugout, runner on second with nobody out. He would say, get him over any way that you can. If you want to bunt, you bunt, but if you're going to swing, make sure you hit it to the right side and move him over.
You had a job to do up there.
That's it.
Get her done, Bucky.
Especially here. Especially here.
Oh, yeah.
This level.
got to do the little things. Fryman, the hitter, takes a strike, and it's now 3-1. Nate Fryman, fielder's choice, back in the second. That's when he hit the ground ball to Brennan Ryan. That's a big play in this ball game. Then he comes home and he gets Montz at the plate. And great tag by Monteros. He blocked the plate and got Montz. Fouled out of play down the right field side. Full count on Fryman. 3-2.
Sal Medina getting loose in the bullpen. Saunders now at 90 pitches. His season high is 105. That was in the complete game against Baltimore. So Eric Wedge, if he gets in some trouble, is going to have an option out in the pen.
So Medina getting ready down in the bullpen. Runner goes, and it's strike 3 called. Thrown down to second, and safe at second base is Norris. Fryman thought it was ball 4. But Joe Saunders strikes out Fryman looking, and a stolen base for Derek Norris. For second, Mike, they might have a shot for a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Fryman, big guy, and
Fryman thought it was down, I think.
Fryman walked across home plate because he thought it was ball 4, Mike, and then Montero
did Andino touch him on top of the helmet? Did Andino touch him on top of the helmet? Could you tell on that replay?
It's hard to tell. Another look at it. Strike on.
It clearly looks like Norris's foot will hit the bag, and then Andino will put the swipe tag, but I think his foot goes past the base, and then he reaches with his hand. And it's hard to tell if he actually touched him because his foot is off the base, and then he comes back and gets it with his hand.
Fouled away by Moss. And the count is 0-2. Still got those eagle eyes, buddy.
Take a look here. See, yeah,
on the bag, off the bag.
I don't think he touched him. I think he was over the top. Yeah. Ted Barrett, second base umpire, right there on top of the play. I think he made the right call, Rick.
Yes, he did. Fouled away into the crowd on the third base side, and the count is still 0-2 on Moss. There's been a lot of attention on the umpires, as you know, the last few days with some controversial decisions, but when you take a look, Mike, at what these guys do on a daily basis, the thousands of calls that they make.
How many times they get it right. Even when we see it ourselves up here in the booth and we think he missed it, when we see the replay, they end up getting it correct. Yeah, they get them right most of the time.
Saunders will look back, the 0-2. Swing and a miss at that breaking ball down and away, strike 3. Putting the tag on Moss as Montero on the pitch in the dirt. A couple of strikeouts for Saunders here in the 6th. That's it for Oakland. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Mariners 5 and the A's 1. Baseball and Root Sports is brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Sterling Bank. Nobody works harder for you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Along with Mike Flowers, Rick Riz, and the crowd here at Safeco Field. Mariners lead 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitching change. That is it for Tommy Milone. Below.
Mariners did a good job against Malone today. 5 innings, 6 hits, but they ended up with 5 runs. All of them earned, 3 walks. When you consider Malone had only walked 6 batters going into the game, 3 walks for the Mariners, 4 strikeouts. He threw 86 pitches, 55 of those strikes. Pat Neshek will take over, his 16th appearance on the year, a 3.21 ERA. And he is a submariner.
And Neshek delivers a strike to Jesus Montero, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. How many of these guys did you face down through the years?
Oh, it seemed like every year you'd get 1 or 2 of them.
Popped up center field. Cespedes is there to make the catch, and Montero is out number 1.
I have to admit I didn't particularly like it.
Because you're so used and trained of seeing that ball come out of the box from 3/4 over the top.
Yeah.
Now you got to look different area.
And the ball is running in on your hands, and it's a super sinker. I just didn't really care for him too much.
Brad Ziegler has been a submarine style guy for a long time. One away, and here's second baseman Robert Andino. The Mariners 5 runs, 6 hits this afternoon. That slider is outside, ball 1.
I can remember as a kid trying to do it. Kent DeColby I thought was pretty cool. Dan Quisenberry. Yeah, he was very good. Yes,
I remember seeing him when I was in the minor leagues. He was at AA Jacksonville.
Did he throw like that then? Because some of these guys make the adjustment later in their career.
He was over the top, and then he did it.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of them. They're over the top pitchers, and things aren't going well, and somebody will suggest them dropping down into that submarine style, and next thing you know, they find themselves in the big leagues. But it's a tough way to pitch and control it. To throw strikes. Throw enough strikes to where you can pitch at this level.
Yeah. I mean, how do you throw a curveball? How do you throw a breaking ball? Because you're going so down low.
Yeah, they throw a frisbee up there. It's there's not much velocity to it, and it's just a big break to it. And here's a look at it. Here's the pitching style in our McDonald Supermo. As you watch him, see how far down he gets. As a right-handed hitter, from that release point, it almost feels that he's letting the ball go behind you, so the angles aren't good for you either.
Kind of tough to hang in there.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily tough to hang in there, but just get the right angle, because it feels like instead of coming straight in that you're used to, all of a sudden it feels like it's coming from behind you, and it's tough. I found for myself, I used to just sit on that breaking ball that you're talking about, because it's typically flat.
Yeah.
And it runs out over the plate as opposed to bearing in on your hands.
3/4 over the top. You can get on top the curveball. Strike 3 called on Andino, so 2 outs for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brings up Brendan Ryan. Lefty Jerry Blevins warming up down to the bullpen for the A's. Does that pitch every day for Oakland?
Seems that he gets at least gets loose in the bullpen every day. That's for sure.
And those pitches count too. I mean, they keep track of those.
They do.
Yep.
How many did you throw yesterday?
No, I'm not saying. I mean, the pitching coaches and the bullpen coach, they keep track. You know this, how many times they get up. And after a certain point, if they're up and down enough, they got to get them in the game. Otherwise, they're done.
Or they're done. I think he was up twice yesterday. Never came into the game. He hasn't pitched in this series, but we've seen him up in both games.
5-1 Mariners.
Must have a good arm. He'll throw every day.
Out ball down the line, foul, backhanded by Donaldson, tosses it into the crowd, and the count is 0-2 on Brendan. Back when I was a kid growing up in Chicago, the Cubs had a guy by the name of Ted Abernathy, submarine style pitcher. I go, that's different.
Did you try it in the stickball games? Drop down?
Yeah. The Sandlot.
Could you sink it?
I had a nasty sink. Once again, it was called gravity. Not as good as the Bo Flowers knuckleball that was dancing around all over the place.
Knuckler. He likes it. This might be his next move, trying to drop down. I think it's great. Kids, they see the major leaguers and they have fun. They're trying different things, different batting stances. It's fun.
Ground ball out to the second baseman, Jed Lowrie, and Ryan is out number 3. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, we go to the top half of the 7th. Our score, it's the Mariners 5 and the Athletics 1. Pitch sequence, Mike, from last night's game.
Involves Kelly Shopik last night facing Parker in the 5th inning, and you can see this little off-speed pitch inside. Another pitch, fastball in on his hands. Breaking ball that's also inside. He pulls it foul, and he spikes a changeup, it looks like. Here's another breaking ball. So he's throwing everything he has at him. Kelly continuing to fight, and then he finally gets the fastball that he likes out over the plate and hits it out into the right field seats. A 2-run home run, which was a big play in last night's game. You can see that pitch sequence of a pitcher trying to basically throw a lot of off-speed pitches, and then eventually Kelly gets the fastball out over the plate, and he hit it well, hitting it into the seats in right field.
Yeah, that home run got the Mariners right back in that game, made it a 3-2 ball game. And by the way, that was the first hit off of Jared Parker last night in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That's right.
Michael Taylor leading off the top half of the 7th inning. Mariners lead 5-1, fouled away by Taylor. The count is even on Michael and 1-1. Now 1 for 18 since coming up from AAA Sacramento. Joe Saunders, give Mr. Saunders a lot of credit this afternoon. In the dirt ball 2-2-1. He's given up only 1 run, Mike, on just 4 hits.
He's pitched well.
Hasn't given up a hit over the last 3 innings.
Right. Next pitch will be 100 for Joe, and when he went out to the mound, Medina started getting loose in the bullpen again. I think if he gets in any trouble at all, Eric Wedge will go to the pen. Now at 100 pitches again, as high as 105, and that was in his complete game against the Orioles back on the 29th of April.
3-1 to Taylor. Right there. Make it a 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. So another strikeout for Saunders. 1 out for the A's here in the top half of the 7th inning. Well, friends, are you the ultimate Northwest Mariner fan in the state of Oregon? Then Root Sports is looking for you throughout the month of May. Capture a photo on Instagram or Twitter with hashtag Ultimate Northwest Fan Oregon. Showing why it should be you. You'll be entered to win a trip and VIP experience to Mariners Fan Appreciation Night in September right here at Safeco Field. For official rules, visit rootsports.com. Adam Rosales with a strike 0-1. 6 strikeouts now for Joe Saunders. Down and away, ball 1-1-1 with the trade of Jason Vargas during the offseason for Kendrys Morales. Jack Zduriencik looking for a veteran guy to step into that rotation, give the Mariners some innings. Line drive, right center field. Base hit for Rosales, his first base hit of the ball game. He's aboard with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning.
And with that base hit, that will bring out Eric Wedge. 104 pitches for Joe Saunders.
And that will be it for Joe this afternoon, but he will leave with a 5-1 lead with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. And Eric will go get Medina. We'll be back after this timeout. Game. Big hit right here. Kendrys Morales, Mike.
In the first inning, Malone was in trouble. A couple of base hit and a walk, and Morales hitting cleanup today does just that. Cleans up the bases and gives the Mariners an early lead, 3-0 lead, 4th home run of the year by Morales. And then in the second inning, take a look at this ball down into the corner. That's how the A's end up scoring their 1 run of the game with Saunders out on the mound. Montero with a base hit. Mariners 2 for 5 so far with runners in scoring position. That one of the base hits right there by Montero to drive in Morris. And in the 5th inning, just misses a home run, but the good news is it's a sacrifice fly. Mariners pick up another run as Saunders crosses the plate.
And the Mariners have a 5-1 lead here in the top half of the 7th inning. Some Little Leaguers here at the ballpark on Mother's Day. Nice crowd on this Sunday afternoon. Pitching change for the Mariners, and the right-hander is Yoervis Medina taking over from Joe Saunders.
He has pitched well. 8 innings for him, 11 strikeouts. Opponent's average just 111. He's a 2.25 ERA. Fastball 95, 96 miles an hour with a hard slider.
Jed Lowry, the hitter, switch hitting shortstop, 0 for 3 on the day, but he sends a line drive base into the right field. The one hopper out to Michael Morris, and that'll get Rosales down to second base. So Lowry greets Medina into the game with a solid base hit. 2 on for the A's with 1 down. Brings up Cespedes. Once again, let's take a look at our Amique hit zone with Yoenis Cespedes.
A lot of hot areas in there, right, Rick? I think what you have to do is throw the fastball in off the plate and sliders away. He will chase the slider away. That's where the Mariners have had success with him.
A lot of red.
He's an aggressive hitter.
Cespedes 1 for 3 today with a base hit to center field back in the 3rd. That pitch outside. Ball 1. When it's down and away, Mike, they'll go after it.
Just a 123 batting average.
Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Stephen Pryor still on the disabled list, out with that strained lat muscle. Franklin Gutierrez still on the DL. Now you take a look at the bullpen with Perez, the lefty, Caps, the righty, warming up. Two and 1. Fastball at 96, Mike.
He has a good arm. Wow. He's definitely not afraid. Since he's been up here, he has gone right after hitters. I think he'd still like to get him out with the slider, but you have to be able to throw some strikes and get ahead of him. Make him chase that pitch.
Ground ball, foul at the third base side. Came back for the fastball again at 94. There's the ball girl going into it. Here are the numbers on the ball game so far. The Mariners with a lead 5-1 each side with 6 base hits. Now ball to Seager at third. Over to second. One relay by Andino in time. Smoke a great job to shorten up that throw at first base. Nicely turned around the horn, and that is it for the Athletics here in the top half of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time. And we go to the bottom half of inning number 7, and the Mariners with a lead by a score of 5-1. So Kyle Seager over to Andino and on to Justin Smoak. They get Lowry at second and double up Cespedes over at first base. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the playing of God Bless America on this Mother's Day 2013.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
7th inning stretch is brought to you by Washington's Lottery. What happens when you combine trucks with bucks? You get an amazing second chance scratch game. Win a new truck or one of 6 $10,000 cash prizes. Play the Trucks and Bucks second chance scratch drawing from Washington's Lottery today. Visit WALottery.com for more details. A lot of moms here at the ballpark today. Mother's Day. Welcome to Safeco Field as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time, and the Mariners are leading the A's by a score of 5-1. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers. Michael Saunders leading things off against a new pitcher, slender left-hander. Jerry Blevins takes over in relief for Oakland. Saunders aboard twice with a couple of singles, won a bunt base hit his last time up, and he has scored 2 of the Mariners' 5 runs in this game.
Michael has had a good day. Let's take a look at the numbers for Blevins. ERA and 1.96. 19 strikeouts, just 1 walk.
Breaking ball took its time getting up to home plate, and the count is 0-2 on Saunders. 70 miles an hour?
No, yeah, he would throw that slow break ball, try to steal a strike, which is what he did. But Saunders now up to 290 on his average. 2 base hits today.
Another breaking ball down and away. Ball 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, two. Fouled away off the screen behind home plate. Michael Saunders is really butting into a star, isn't he, Mike?
I think so. I think that he's a rare combination, a rare athlete. To have the speed, first of all, led the club in stolen bases last year, and then the power, 19 home runs. You don't see many guys at this level that can do both of those things.
21 steals last year. Bounce foul up the first base side, and the count is still 1-2. And you just love the way that he plays the game. Very aggressive.
Started that last year. Last year he figured that he believed that he belongs here, and he certainly wasn't going to leave it up to chance. Became much more aggressive at the plate and on the bases, and things have worked out for him since. The thing that you have to like about him is he does a good job against left-handers, which he started to do last year also, hitting .304 against lefties coming in to the game today. As you mentioned, he's picked up a couple more hits, so that number will go up for him. And of course, he's a really good defender. Play anywhere in the outfield.
Right. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom half of the 7th. He was out on that 15-day disablement with that strained right shoulder. He never gave up on that ball. Made a great catch at the top of the wall back on April the 11th against Houston. Jose Altuve hit that fly ball, the little guy. Top of the wall, made a super catch, but then that shoulder went right into the wall.
Well, the reason why he made that catch is because he didn't slow down at all. It was amazing to me that he was able to hang on to the ball, because the minute the ball hit his glove, he slammed into the wall full speed. Ended up hanging on to it though to make the catch, but unfortunately he had to go on the DL for 15 days, and that hurt the club.
Jason Bay. 1-0 pitch, down and away, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. How did the old timers do it when they had a brick wall? Not a whole lot of padding out there at the time. At least they got some padding. But that was rough back then. Wrigley Field, brick wall, they got the ivy on it. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, I'll tell you how they did it. They turned around and played the ricochet a lot.
Brooklyn Dodgers had a guy many years ago in the 1940s. Pete Reeser was on his way to becoming a Hall of Famer. Man alive, he collided into the wall so many times, cut his career short. But that's the way he played the game. He said, I can't do it any differently than that. Pete Reeser. The way I got to play the game. 3-1 the count on Bay. Fly ball, center field and deep. Cespedes going back to the track, to the wall. Goodbye baseball. Straight away center field. Jason Bay with number 4 in the season. It's now the Mariners 6 and the Athletics 1, and for the Mariners, their second home run of the afternoon.
Well, for all those wondering if he still has some pop left in his bat, I think that should tell you. We won't see many hit over that fence dead center field at the 401 mark.
Nice hug from the King right there. Straightaway center. Right over the top of that 401 marker.
Too. He knew it. Watch him break it down as he hits it. He knows.
That's a good feeling.
That is a good feeling.
Leaves the bat. Kyle Seager. One hopper to the first baseman. Fryman comes up to get it. Goes back to step on the pillow for the out. And there's 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 7th inning. At that point, do you feel it on the bat, Mike, when you hit it that squarely?
I mean, do you feel the ball at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, but it's just different, Rick. It just feels different. There's not much to it, that's for sure.
Just a nice feeling.
And you spend hours off the tee, batting practice, all those things, just to have that happen every once in a while.
Looking for that special feeling. Morales with a ground ball to the shortstop. Rosales fires the first in time to get Kendricks, and that'll end the inning. But the Mariners tack on one more run, one more hit. The Jason Bay home run to straightaway center field. And we go to the top half of the 8th. On this Sunday afternoon in Seattle, it's now the Mariners 6 and the A's 1. Get ready to play in the sun on Sunday, May 26th. The Mariners have a giveaway for all youngsters that will get them geared up for some summer fun. Mariners sunglasses, thanks to Aquafina. To pick up tickets and these cool shades, visit mariners.com. Great looking sunglasses for the kids. And a lot of youngsters here at the ballpark this afternoon on Mother's Day. Kids bringing their moms out to the ballpark, and why not? What a great way to celebrate your mom's special day than right here at Safeco Field. We go to the top half of the 8th inning. The Mariners leading the A's by a score of 6-1, and Josh Donaldson will lead things off against Medina. We've got the final 2 outs for Joe Saunders in the top of the 7th inning, and a big swing and a miss by Donaldson, and the count is 0-1. And these A's really put it together last year, winning the American League West on the final day of the regular season. Got off to a slow start, but then from June the 1st on last year, the A's went 72-38, the best record in baseball. Ground ball to short. Brendan Ryan is there. One away for the Athletics here in the top half of the 8th. Let's check in with Tom Glasgow.
All right, Rick, from the Ford Sports Desk, it'll preview the pitching matchups for the 3-game series between the M's and Yankees, which gets underway Tuesday back in the Bronx. And look, there's nothing you don't like about those first 2 games with Felix and Iwakuma dialed in the way they are. The 3rd game, that's the big question mark with Aaron Harang and that ERA above 7 facing Andy Pettin. Guys, believe it or not, 12 years in the bigs for Aaron Harang. This will be his first appearance against the Yankees.
That's hard to believe.
That is hard to believe.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the National League, but he was up with the Oakland A's when he first came up. But that is the best 1-2 punch in baseball. Felix Hernandez and Hisashi Iwakuma. Combined ERA 1.63.
No argument from me.
There's the king. John Jaso pinch hitting for Luke Montz here in the top half of the 8th inning. 0-1 on Jaso. He was the leadoff batter last night and the night before, both times as the DH. 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter with a home run. Jaso had some big pinch hits for the Mariners last year.
He did a really good job for him, including a home run or 2. of that first pitching matchup with Felix on the mound. I always look forward to that matchup. It just seems electric with him in Yankee Stadium. He just seems like he just gets fired up and gets after it. And he's been so good already.
He had the perfect game last year here at home against Tampa Bay. But earlier in the season, he had that one-hitter against the Yankees in New York against that ball club.
That was a good pitch by Medina. Yeah.
Stuff was electric that night.
He's fun to watch.
The King.
Glad he's going to be here for a long time.
7-year contract during the offseason. Told his agent, get it done. With 2 years left on his contract. On the previous contract. They ripped that thing up. Okay, we got you for 7 now.
Good idea.
Outstanding. There he is. Felix Hernandez get the start on Tuesday night against the Yankees in the Bronx. 3-2 the count on Jaso. Fly ball left center field. Saunders drifting back. Michael is there near the track. Now backpedals on the warning track to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Well, friends, ride with all your fans on Sound Transit and enjoy freedom from traffic and parking. To plan your next trip, visit soundtransit.org. 2 up and 2 down. Brings up the catcher, Derek Norris. (6-1) Mariners. And what a job by Hisashi Iwakuma this year. Iwakuma got the start a couple of nights ago, and he beat the A's by a score of 6-3, and he went 7 innings Mike in that outing. And the thing about Iwakuma, his last 2 starts, both times he's gone 7 innings. Blood blister was kind of a problem coming. It's kept him from going deeper into games, although he was still going 6 or 6 1/3. The last 2 games 7.
It's such a luxury. It's such an advantage for Eric Wedge to run Felix and Iwakuma out there back to back, because over the course of the summer there's going to be a lot of days where he needs to give his bullpen a break. And you can certainly do that without being afforded an off day. You can still do that because you can just pretty much pencil in those 2 guys are going to go deep into the ball game.
Those 2 guys will give the pen a breather in back-to-back games. Derek Norris is 1 for 2 today with a single. He's grounded out to third and has walked. Fouled away. Fastball at 95 miles an hour. And the count is even on Norris at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Medina comes right after the hitters. I'd like to meet the guy that invented that thing, that foam finger.
I know you would.
Who was that guy? Really? Fouled away near the guy with the foam finger, and the count is still even on Norris at 2-2. I mean, who thought of that? And he's making $1 billion. What? Curtis, just give me the answer. Steve Schmelar, 1971. Steve Schmelar. Bet you he's living in a really nice house because that foam finger. He made it for the Iowa boys basketball finals back in 1971. Piece of foam, shape of a finger. What was the guy's name, Curtis? I'm talking to Curtis Wilson down the truck. Steve Schmelar. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Medina fans Derek Norris, an easy name to pronounce. 1, 2, 3 at the top of the 8th for Oakland. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Mariners leading the A's 6-1. And that just happened here at Safeco Field as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. There's a look at your line score. The Mariners jumping out to the early 3-0 lead on the 3-run home run by Kendrys Morales. So the Mariners now lead 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Jesse Chavez, Mike, will take over in relief for the A's.
Already seen Jesse in this series. 5 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Opponent's average 304.
Michael Morse to lead things off and takes a strike. Michael line drive double into the gap back in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 that was intentionally walked in the bottom of the 5th. Popped up out of play and the count is 0-2. Tommy Malone started the ball game, went 5 innings. Pat Neshek took over, 1 scoreless inning. Jerry Blevins worked the bottom of the 7th, gave up that home run to straightaway center field off the bat of Jason Bay, his 4th home run of the year. Ground ball, slow roller left side, pinned across. Donaldson and off his glove. And Michael Morse is safe at first base. Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. So Morse on at first base. And that will be a base hit for Michael Morse, an infield base hit. Here is Justin Smoke. Fly ball, left field line, slicing foul and out of play into the seats. 0-1 on Smoke.
Well, Rick, so far this has just been a good, solid, all-around good game for the Mariners. They've done a lot of things well today.
A lot of
including
good
some
at-bats.
starting pitching. A lot of good at-bats.
A lot of good at-bats.
Yeah, I would agree.
After, last night they battled like crazy, Mike, to stay in that ball game. They were down early 3-0. Then they battled to come back. They had chances late in the game, but they didn't have that clutch base hit to try to leapfrog over the A's. They ended up losing by a run 4-3, but a lot of good at bats today.
A lot of good at bats. I thought they had some good at bats last night. Been swinging much better lately. Now with this lead, they have an opportunity to win another series. I think that's one of the things about this. Playing at this level in this league, Rick, you have to put things away quickly. Yeah, you have to forget about them quickly because there's always another game to be played. And these guys are either playing or traveling every day.
One thing that Eric has mentioned a lot, Mike, when I have a chance to talk to him, fouled away by Smoke again at the count 1-2. Something you just mentioned is that you have to trust the length of the season. You have to respect the length of the season because eventually, obviously, as we talked about last night, you're going to have your ups and downs, but eventually you're going to get things fixed.
Yes. Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Right. What was Sparky Anderson's quote?
Oh, you is what you is.
That's right. So regardless of what happens the first month, by the end of the year, you should be there.
And a swing and a miss by Smoke for strike 3, and there's 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, Major League Baseball.TV celebrates 11 years with new low yearly prices. Watch every out-of-market game live on over 350 supported mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere. 1 on, 1 away. Here's catcher Jesus Montero with a strike 0-1. I want to say a special hello to my daughter-in-law, Melissa Riz, on this Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Melissa. Fly ball into the gap in right center field. Cespedes on the run and reaches out and he makes the catch. Back to first base, Michael Morse. Yoenis Cespedes.
He closed a lot of ground late. I thought this ball was going to hit the ground out there and be a base hit for Montero. I think the last 5 or 6 strides that he took closed the distance and made a good catch out there. Nice basket catch in right center field.
Looked like for a second he might have to go into that dive, but he put it into another gear, was able to get there on the run. 2 outs. Robert Andino backs away, pitch up and in, ball 1. Andino looking for his first base hit. Way outside, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Mariners with a travel day tomorrow as we head east to New York City.
No, we were just back east, weren't we?
Yep. Toronto and Pittsburgh. Back home for 3, back down the road. Popped up out of play. 2-1. On the road again. Willie Nelson. But they even out. But in May, not so much.
Yeah, I think we're both looking forward to June, though.
Yeah.
A lot of home games in June.
Few days off and a chance to fire up the grill. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. You're pretty good out there in the barbecue grill, aren't you?
I like it.
It's fun. Got the kids out there.
Yeah.
Barbecued some steaks on Thursday night for the son and grandkids. Low and outside, ball 3. Full count, 3-2. On deck, Brendan Ryan. Outside, ball 4. So Andino with a walk, and now the Mariners have runners at first and second with 2 outs. For Ryan. Brendan steps in. Looked out at third base coach Darren Brown.
Let's see him get a base hit here.
Rough year last year, tough start this year, and we'd love to see him just drive the ball the other way. A lot of times you got it going when you went the other way, Mike.
Yeah, I think you have to let the ball travel, give yourself a chance. But you know, it's one of those things where he knows that.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to do. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You know, and it's just one of those. It's not that he's not trying to. It's a hard game. The guy out there throwing a baseball at 95 miles an hour, and mixing in a slider. It's tough. It's hard to do. And then you know, you've talked to him. We watched him work, and especially his plan in spring training, it looked like everything was coming together for him.
But good spring.
But then you get out here and you have a couple of games where things don't go well, and that anxiety level kicks up on you, and you just get out of what you know you should be doing, and it's hard to get yourself in that place.
And this is a guy who just 3 or 4 years ago with the Cardinals hit 292.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's done it before.
Yeah. Low and outside, gets on by Norris, but the runners have to stay, and it's 1-2 on Ryan.
But what you can do is just continue to work at it, because that's what you're here every day. You show up,
Right.
and you have to believe that today's the day. Today's the day when I'm going to get it figured out, and things are going to go well. And that's another
My
one
next
of the,
swing is going to be.
Well, that's another one of those deals that makes it so difficult.
And Mike, when you think about it, I mean, you have to work hard at it even when you're going good.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Because when
I mean, you were with Donnie Mattingly.
When you start to swing well, Rick, you want to stay there, so you just continue to work. But that's part of it. That's the deal.
Fouled out to Darren Brown, coaching over at third base, so the count is still 1-2 on Ryan. Yeah, even when you were going well, how many times did you hit a ball off the tee with Lee Elio? You know, to keep it there.
All the time. Every day.
Edgar Martinez, same way.
Well, that's the thing. It's fortunate I've played with some great hitters, and I can't think of one of them that didn't come to the ballpark and work at it on a daily basis. They all did.
And a swing and a miss, off speed pitch, strike 3, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left on. We go to the top half of the ninth. Last try for the A's. Mariners lead 6-1.
just 3 outs away from getting another series victory. Tom Glasgow with you from the Forge Sports Desk. Here's what's coming your way on Mariners postgame. We'll hear from the skipper Eric Wedge, get clubhouse reaction as well. Did Bill go 3 for 3 with his keys today? We'll find out. Brad Adam will break down a Yankees team that'll be waiting for the Mariners Tuesday in New York. And the Tacoma Rainiers are in the 13th inning in New Orleans. We'll keep you up to date on that one as well. Right now it's on to the 9th with Rick and Mike.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. And we go to the top of the 9th inning. The new pitcher, veteran southpaw Oliver Perez.
Oliver has really pitched well. 1.35 ERA for him, 13 and a third innings, 15 strikeouts. His 13th appearance on the season.
Fryman will lead things off. Nate Fryman. Fastball for strike 0-1. So a long game for Tacoma down in New Orleans today. 13 innings. They won last night. They beat New Orleans by a score of 14-1. Stephen Romero 2 for 5. A grand slam. He had 5 runs batted in. Stephen Romero. Swing and a miss by Fryman, in the count is 0-2. Romero went to Oregon State. Check swing, fouled away by Fryman, in the count 0-2. And Mike, we had a chance to see him a little while before he got hurt down at spring training. Stephen Romero.
He can hit.
Oh my goodness, can he?
I think they have him playing some outfield.
Yeah, they moved him out to left field. Mariners have Nick Franklin at shortstop at AAA. They got Brad Miller at shortstop at AA. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Strike 3. Perez with a strikeout and 1 away for the Athletics here in the top half of the 9th.
95 miles an hour. Hit it if you can. Good fastball above the belt.
He gets a lot of torque. I mean, he really turns his body. You see those numbers. Brandon Moss the hitter, and there's a strike 0-1.
And he can rush it up there. His fastball anywhere from 93 to 96 miles an hour. At times he'll drop down, quick pitch in, do a lot of different things. It's fun to watch.
Moss 0 for 3 has fanned 3 times today. Slider, whoa. Moss was getting out of the way. I'd like to see where that one landed.
He's aware that he throws 95 too, and he certainly didn't want to wear one in the ribs.
Swing and a miss at that slider. Throw it again. 1-2 on Moss. Mariners 6 runs this afternoon on 8 base hits. The A's 1 run on 6 hits. Rubber match of the 3-game series. And it's strike 3 called. Came back with a fastball to the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Perez and 2 outs for the Athletics here in the top half of the 9th inning. Fans started to rise to their feet. 27,599 this afternoon on Mother's Day here in Seattle. Mariners looking for their 18th win of the year. Here is left fielder Michael Taylor. Foul ball out of play on the first base side, 0-1. And a loss would drop the A's back under 500 by a game at 19-20.
Mariners getting this win today, they'll only be a half game behind the A's, moving into second place.
Mighty close to Oakland. And the 0-1, that's high and outside for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Starting play today. The Rangers had that 5-game lead over the A's. Mariners 6.5 out. Texas winning big down in Houston. Swing and a foul back in the count is 1-2 on Taylor. Perez got in the game a couple of nights ago, gave up a leadoff home run to Norris, but after that he struck out the side. Rosales, Jason, and Smith. That was on Friday night. He has back-to-back strikeouts here at the top of the 9th inning, and now he's 1-2 on Michael Taylor. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Perez strikes out the side here in the top half of the 9th inning. And the Mariners won it 6-1 over the Oakland A's on Mother's Day 2013 here at Safeco Field. And the Mariners take the series 2-1. Outstanding pitching and Mike, some great at-bats along the way.
Just a short homestand, but they win the series. The most important thing, Joe Saunders again outstanding today, pitching into the 7th, giving up just the 1 run today. So nice little short homestand for the Mariners.
Kendrys Morales with a big 3-run home run to get the offense going right away in the bottom of the 1st inning. Joe Saunders again wins at home. The Mariners over the A's 6-1. Back with more after this.